Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video. It is reset time, and we are early enough in the season where things are still happening week to week, although we were kind of missing something that I thought would be this week, but we are apparently stretching that out just a little bit more. So I logged in today to figure we would get, at the very least, a new Battleground. Obviously, we know that there's going to be 3 coming. We need to capture a Hive Witch and then move the story along for Season of the Risen. There's not a new Battleground. Instead, the quest step this week is about, we have to kill, I think they're like called Light Hoarders or something, where inside Battlegrounds now, there's at least one, the one I saw was a Hive Knights, where it's like a pretty chunky yellow bar that has a shield that you have to take down, and then you kill that, and you get some sort of light-based material. It was part of the quest step for the story quest this time around, and then you have to open the chest. You have to do the usual collect 500 intel things, which I just deleted my stack. I'm so tired of that bugged part of the quest, so I'm not going to run another thing just to spend it and then go earn it again, so I deleted it. I ran a Wellspring, which instantly got me 500, and then you finish that, and that is the actual content of the story quest this week. There is no new Battleground, so I assume that is being saved for next week. This was kind of just an intermediate step to kind of delay things. We are at 20 out of 28 steps, and I think we've kind of been doing like 4 steps a week, so I think there are 2 more weeks technically. I assume one will be the new Battleground, and then one will be whatever the finale is for that. In terms of actual other stuff to run, the first thing you'll see when you log in is, when you go to the home, is that the Catalyst is now live for... what's that even called? Oh, Dead Messenger. Dead Messenger. So that exotic triangular breach grenade launcher that you got from the Vox Obscura quest. Now you have to complete Master Vox Obscura in order to get the Catalyst. I believe that's the only step. I think you just have to beat it. That is full Master difficulty. That is 1580. That has more champions, has shields and match game and all that stuff. I've not attempted that yet. I'm definitely going to need a team for that. I'm mostly just worried about the first part, where you attract so much fire from enemies, from like the tanks to the guys on the ground. Like, I just kind of worry about the extra damage of 1580 there in terms of blowing up your vehicles and things, but we'll see how it goes. And then obviously all of this is a timed component to some extent, where you're not running a jump puzzle or anything, but you do have to kill a whole lot of enemies and you can't take too much shelter. So we'll see how that goes. As you get deeper into the season, you'll be higher power, and that may become easier and easier, but that is live now. I don't know what the Catalyst does. I haven't actually looked at it yet, but that's already a pretty fun grenade launcher, so we will see if that does anything particularly cool, but I have not actually gone to see what that does yet. In terms of the actual story, there are some, I would say, relatively minor developments here. So the lecture from Saladin, he's actually being kind of nice this week, where after you complete the story quest, he talks about how he and the Scion in our helm, like, they went into the mindscape and they had like a nice conversation, and that he respects like the Scion's like sense of duty. The Scion is like not thrilled about mind torturing these Hive. Like, it kind of has like a Scion moral compass, and apparently the Scion is like really old friends with Keitel. I feel like the Scion's probably been in the lore before as like one of her scribes or something, but I don't actually know its name. And then he suggests that Crow is being more broody than usual, so maybe he should talk to the Scion and get like Scion therapy, because like he thinks it'll make him feel better. There was a audio conversation between Keitel and Zavala, where it's like there's only a minor amount of innuendo this time, talking about the large cannon that she set up. And she's like kind of marveling at how the Guardian, just like, we just threw ourselves into the cannon to launch herself onto the ship. And she's like, that's crazy. And then Zavala talks about how Crucible and Iron Banner have taught us to like not fear death and do like crazy things like that. And then he kind of goes into kind of concern for the Cabal people about like how they're fighting this war, and he's like, how many like people do you even have left at this point? And she's like, it doesn't matter. It's not about tactics. It's not about numbers. Like, this is a war for honor, because the Hive exterminated billions of Cabal. So if we fight to the last Cabal and they go extinct, like, so be it. And he's like, who will, erect a memorial for you? And she's like, you will. So that was kind of a nice moment. But the Cabal, I doubt the Cabal are going to go extinct in Destiny anytime soon, but they seem to be okay with it. There are a couple new lore pages. So there's a new lore book, actually, that is just about Saladin. And you get that from killing these light hoarder things in Battlegrounds. So I think just as you kill more of them, you will unlock more pages of this. The first page is about Saladin being stuck in a tree during a battle. Like I think he got blown up there and is like being skewered by a bunch of branches, and he's like debating, like he's trying to like have his ghost get him out of it, but the ghost is like trying to make him use the light to get out of it. And this, I think this is going to be like one story of a kind of a longer battle. And then there's a pretty good lore passage about Shah Han, of all people, which is in the seasonal lore for just what you get for completing the quest for this week. And he's pretty much in the area where you get resurrected as a new light at first, and he's talking to a group of new lights, and he gives this kind of big rousing speech about how the Hive think they can pick on new lights because they're easy, but like really, like they don't know like that we're part of a vanguard, and you don't know who they're messing with. It's actually a pretty good moment. There's also discussion of like what can actually kill a ghost, which he talks about very specific weapons and like different things, and then he talks about like things that are paracausal, and that includes us Guardians. Like Guardians are paracausal, which is why we are allowed to crush ghosts in our hand. I believe Hive Guardians, since they have the light now, are technically also paracausal. There's lore I read, maybe it was last week, about I think it was in the Lucent the Lucent Moth lore, where there's a Hive ghost telling like an acolyte or someone to crush a Guardian's ghost, and like it doesn't want to do it, and the Guardian resurrects. I haven't done the Lucent Moths for this week. Those are all lore. That's all lore based on Hive ghosts. So there's I think probably 2 more books to find this week, which I always love doing that. But I haven't read that yet. I did do. I don't even remember what is it. Preeminent. I can't remember what the quest is called. The new one that came up after the raid last time around, where you go into the pyramid and clear out the Scorn. Perseverance, Perdition, something like that. Something with a P. I just started it just to see if it was going to be like instantly in a different part of the pyramid or something, like because the whole thing with it last time was it's like teaching us various very, very light raid mechanics in the first 2 sections of the raid. I started it, you start in the same area, so I don't think it's any different. I didn't play it all the way through to see if there's like new lore at the end. Maybe there's some new voice lines. I know for a fact that this isn't the week like, oh, we can unlock the rest of the 5 lore things. You can already get those other lore pieces in the raid itself. There are 5 more lore entries from Rolk explaining kind of the rest of his story and his history. So that was technically live last week. I'm going to play through that just to see if anything is different, but that's a really long quest to do solo. It's not hard. It just takes forever because of the payload part. So I will see if anything is different there. In terms of loots, already this week I'm doing pretty good. I got my 3rd Fell Tardiddle bow from just the one Wellspring I ran. We have not gotten word that they buffed rates or anything. Maybe they stealth did it. I know there was maintenance today, but I'm not sure if they actually rolled that out. We haven't heard anything about that. And then I got a pattern for one of the Arisen grenade launchers randomly. So starting off pretty strong. I know a lot of people, what they're doing is just rushing out to run the raid again because it's reset. This is the first reset of the raid, and it is off contest mode. I still have not run the raid. I am planning probably to run it this weekend, I think. I'm getting my team together full of a couple real life buds, and we will see how that goes. Surely it will go better than contest mode, and I know at least one of our friends at least attempted to do it over the weekend in contest mode, so he can teach us things, and if not, I'll just watch a Cactus raid guide or something. His are very good. And yeah, so I think that's kind of the major events for this reset that I can tell. There might be further developments I haven't really discovered yet, but I mean, it's not a new Battleground or anything, and that is a little surprising that they didn't do that, but it is almost certainly next week. I think they just wanted kind of a little interim break here, and there's a good amount of lore stuff to kind of sort through. So anyway, that's what we got for this week. For the most part, what I can tell, if there's anything new secrets that developed after the raid clear, besides what we got already, I will dig into that. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.